Bansal, distinguished guests, Dr. Mahipal, distinguished members of the faculty, students, awardees, parents who are here. We have just heard rather a long introduction about me, which to my mind was not really necessary. Be that as it is, I can share my joy on being invited here. Once you cross 60, coming and being with young people is always a rejuvenating experience, and especially when you go off the stage and interact with them. I had received this catalogue from Mr. Bansal and I went over it, and I found to my delight that New Delhi Institute of Management in 17 years of its existence has made considerable strides. It has carved out a niche for itself in the management world. Rather, a place I understand is rated as among the best MBA institute in Delhi NCR and North India, and amongst the top 20 in India. My congratulations to the members of the faculty and the students who have made this possible. Well, the achievements of NDIM don't seem to end here. The other day, I read with interest an advertisement in, I think it was Times of India or Hindustan Times, which gave details of 100% placements of the final year students of this institute. My congratulations once again to Mr. Bansal. I am told that this institute has an record of 100% placements for the last 17 years. Although, purely let me tell you, the Lokayukta in me makes me a little suspicious of it. And on a lighter vein, I would like to go over it. Maybe in 1 year there has been an error. But if it hasn't been, then he deserves to be congratulated more than once. It is said that education is the best investment any society can make. And Mr. Bansal, being a prudent investor, has seen it all through. Long time back, Victor Hugo said, "He who opens a school door closes a prison." Prison here is not meant in the sense of the usual prisons you understand. It means liberalization of thoughts. Great societies and countries never economize on education. F.D. Roosevelt, former American president, said, "School is the last expenditure on which America should be willing to economize." Continuing in the same strain, Abraham Lincoln said, "Philosophy of schoolroom in one generation will be the philosophy of the government in the next." And that, I am sure you people will be doing so when the management graduates from this institute pass off. They are the ones who will be determining the philosophy of the corporate world. All of you are future entrepreneurs. Who knows, among you, there may be a Mukesh Ambani. The values which you imbibe shape your outlook as a citizen of the country. You have won prizes and distinguished yourself in respective fields. I wish to talk to you about some of the things which perhaps are not part of the business school curriculum. These are few thoughts which I wish to share with you. If they appeal to you, you could perhaps adopt and follow them. I don't know how you look at the coming day. One way to look at it is that with every dawn and sunrise, each one of us gets a bounty of 24 hours of time to be spent. Now, these 24 hours are available by nature to everyone without discrimination. There is no such thing like someone would have less or more, or someone would have it in a heated place or a cool place. When you are in the same place, they are the same for you. It is up to each one of us to see how we spend these 24 hours. That is productive, non-productive, leisure time, gossiping, studies, travel, resting or sleeping, introspecting. You know, the advice that I wish to give you is this. Plan and budget your time right in the morning, and then, my friends, audit it at night. Before you go to bed, just go over and think how you have spent these 24 hours. And be honest with yourself. You know, you need not, at times one need not be honest with others, though one should be, but one can't be dishonest to oneself. So when you see how you have spent these 24 hours, do that introspection. Did I spend this time in gossiping? Did I spend this time in speaking ill of others? Did I spend this time in doing something constructive? You will have a picture of what you have done. And then you are the best judge of knowing what you should not have done and what you should do in future. The only thing is, apply this corrective mechanism, and my advice to you is, try it for a week and see how you feel about it. You know, that is why Francis Bacon, I don't know whether you know about the history of this chancellor, he was one of the wisest persons, but the most corrupt. He said, a man young in years may be old in hours if he has lost no time. Lost no time means unproductive time. That is the first point I wanted to make. Now coming to the second one, you all know familiar with the saying, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. This statement tends partly to breed some kind of fatalism. You need not believe in it to that extent. It is perseverance that leads to brilliance. A person may be inherently brilliant, but he could be wasting the same if he does not work. Over a period of time, he would get inert and his potential will remain untapped. Take the example, those who persevere get better at their work. Take Sachin Tendulkar. He was a naturally talented cricketer. However, he had to persevere and work hard to become brilliant. Hard work remains important. There is no ticket to the top without hard work. All of us have to stop and remember this forever. The next most important thing is maintaining integrity. Personally, in your work, is one of the most important things. Please understand, one thing which you earn over a period of time, that is reputation. As far as your evaluation is concerned, maybe if the present management doesn't find you are not vibe well with them, you want to quit, you may quit, but You go to another one, he finds your thinking positive and he employs you. There could be a different opinion. But what is most important is your reputation. Reputation is which you earn over a period of time. This is your most valuable asset. You know, very often it is said, this chap is truthful, he is fair, he is honest. Now I want to ask you, do you think such a person is a misfit in today's world? Maybe some of you feel he would be taken. But believe me, over a period of time, if a person is straightforward, fair, truthful, that is what will take him in good stead. And people will value it. Your management will value your advice that there is a person who sincerely tells us what he feels. You need to be honest to yourself, your family, your colleagues, your friends, society, your customers, your investors, the government at large. You know, these days we talk of good governing practices, ethical values. Now this is what you have to show in your own conduct. It is not only just the ethical thing to do, but it makes more business sense. The point I am making here is this: being honest, being ethical makes business sense. It is a profitable thing to do if you want to look at it that way. Good people wish to work with persons who have had good reputation. Working with good people will help you in doing good work. You therefore tend to achieve more. Honesty cannot be compromised. One more facet before two more things I would like to tell you rather. Be a team player. You cannot make it to the top in any organization without being a good teammate. To be a good teammate, you have to be a good follower and a team player. There are some of us who may feel, you know, this person who is senior to me, I know much better, I have better grades, I am intellectually more superior. This fellow is really not of my class in the learning area. So why should I take any instruction from him? Rather, I would lead him. Anyone who has these kind of thoughts, he has to understand that experience also has a value. And it is not necessary that good grades always make you the best. And no work is small. Because in every work that you do at the operational level, if you are applying your mind right, you will find there is something to learn. I am now reminded of something which is say of 1969. After doing my law, I had joined IBM World Trade Corporation. As a trainee there, though on the legal side, you had to go through different departments. So they put me on a job which I thought was at that time really beneath your education, beneath your status. They put me on a job which was filling up weekly working plans. Now these working plans were, you know, the sales representatives used to go out and to monitor their activity, they had to fill up a coded sheet where they would indicate in codes how much time was spent on travel, how much time was spent on sales, how much time was spent on in-office work, etc. I thought it's an absolute clerical work. What is this I have been given? And initially I resented it. Then I thought through it. There was something to learn from it also. And what I learned from there was how some of them were wasting their time in activities which were not proper. So I gave you this illustration to point out to you that when you start your career, don't think any job that is given to you, which is maybe look very small to you, very clerical to you, is beneath you. You will find meaning in your work. And that's the meaning I found in it. And here I am standing before you, this person who was doing the clerical work rose to be Chief Justice and finally the Lokai. So please do not consider any work that is bad. Now coming back to the teammate issue I was telling you, I remember a saying of the US President Eisenhower. He said, leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something which you want to do, get it done, but because he wants to do it. It is your leadership skill that you make your teammate feel that the teammate wants to do it and get done what you want. That is a real leader. I am sure in this institute they will be teaching you how to be this leader. So therefore do not clamor for strategic jobs initially because probably you will not get them, you may be disappointed. In any case you need to know it is good to start from the bottom and go up the ladder. The other question which I wanted to ask you was, what should be your prime objective? Everyone wants to get a job. These days you read it. This Dominion for the first time offered a job of $500,000. That is a record. Another one says, I got it for this much. Of course money is important. It would be foolish to think that money is not important. But apart from money, the prime objective ought to be the content and meaning in your work. You would be happy if you find meaning in your work. You should love your work and work hard at it and become good. This would ensure that you will rise and be better off financially. Money is an incidental outcome of something you find meaning in doing it. I believe there are today, as a result of an inter-college festival, there are about 18 colleges participating and there are many winners. These winners naturally need to be congratulated and we shall be doing so. We shall be acknowledging their effort by awarding them prizes. But for those who did not win, they should remember there is yet another time. Do not lose hope. Rather, firm up your resolve to win next time. I would like to end with the famous statement of George W. Bush, former American president, which is very appropriate for the occasion. He said he was doing a prize distribution and this is what he said. And I found this very interesting and worth it. To those who have received honors, awards and distinctions, I say well done. And to C-grade achievers, those are the ones who got not the first two grades, I say you too may be one day the President of the United States. This is self-explanatory, but for those who have not followed it, it is because President Bush had got C grade. That's why he told the audience, look, don't get disheartened by not getting a prize. One day you may be the President of US. So this is what I am repeating. Those who have not got the prizes, don't get disheartened. Next time you will get it. And who knows, you will be the minister or you will be the one addressing this gathering after some time from now. You will be the one chief guest here and addressing this audience. Thank you very much.